All right. Hey, everybody. So we're back here at our blended garden community, and I'm super duper excited because I am with a very old friend, a musical friend. I'm going to call him my blast from the past, Mr. Mr. Jeff Alani. And we go way back. How far back do we go, Jeff?
Since 1999, I met you at the Groove and on 12th and Gansevoort. Is that right?
Oh, no, it was McDougal, right there. West 4th and McDougal.
West Fourth and McDougal. Yes, the Groove. I
The
don't know why I said 12th
Groove.
Street. The Groove, where Saan was the manager. He
That's
hired
right.
me. I saw an ad in the Village Voice. I think they were auditioning singers for open mic night, and I went down there and I said I want to audition. He goes, "Well, you better be good because this is a tough crowd." And so I auditioned, and he goes, "Okay, come tonight, and you're going to perform. You're going to sing some Luther Vandross." And I was terrified. And I remember you came on. I don't remember if it was the first night, but I remember you came on. You did Tina Turner, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Because I'd been doing Ricky Martin on cruise ships before that, and I'm like, "Wow, she's great."
And I thought the same about you. I was like, "Ooh, he tore up Luther. Let me find out." And then we just became really cool friends. And I think that we started doing shows together.
We did.
You were doing Ricky Martin, and you always had those really funky pants on, and you don't look a day over yesterday. Can I just tell you that?
Aw, thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you
So
too.
I have Jeff here because I really wanted him to read the book, The Blended Garden. And by the way, you are my first guy gardener.
Great. Oh, I'm so honored.
I'm super honored. I'm super honored. But a little bit about Jeff, and I'll let him share a little bit more about what he does. But we'll come back another time where you and I, Jeff, will talk more about life and how your life is connected to this whole blended garden experience. So I'm super excited. But I'm seeing behind you like pianos and microphones, and
Hmm.
tell us a little bit about who you are before we read the book.
Okay. Just stop me if I go too long. I am a vocal coach. I have been a singer all my life. I grew up the son of a Baptist preacher. I grew up singing in my dad's church, and then was encouraged. And my mom was a school teacher, so I had teaching in my blood.
Hmm.
I had several teachers in my family line and preachers, and so I grew up singing gospel music and just loving singing. And I went off to college after I left home, and actually I my voice got really kind of messed up for a while because I got with some teachers that were not really, I don't want to say they were bad. I never like to say someone's a bad teacher. They just weren't right for me.
Hmm.
And then I went from one teacher to another and just came out of college singing worse than I went in, very confused about my
Wow.
voice and very confused about singing. And then about the time that I met you, I met this lady in 1999, Leona Matthews. She was from Lithuania. She was
Wait,
only.
and now you said interrupt you because I want you to save that for our
Oh,
voice
okay.
chat talk, because here we'll
Okay.
just read the book and we'll chat and we'll
Okay.
gab
Yeah.
it a little bit,
All right.
because you said so many things that I'm just like, oh my gosh, we have to do a chat, because you
Okay.
said you grew up with a Baptist preacher
Yeah.
and a Baptist church, I should say.
Yes.
And that is so there's so much I want to talk to you about.
There's a
um
lot there.
there's a whole lot there,
But
yeah,
so
because you got.
basically, I'm a voice teacher, and I still sing. I sing in a '80s cover band. I do the journey. I do all the Journey and all the
And
high crazy stuff.
what's the name of your company? You have a
Voice
company.
Voice Soaring Studios.
Voice Soaring Studio. So let me just say this before we get into this, because I want to say one thing and then we'll read the book. I
Okay.
want to remind you of something that happened between us that I don't know if you remember, but I have to make restitution, or what do you call what do we say when we have to make amends? I have to make amends with you, but I'll tell you
Okay.
in a minute why. Um, but let me just say this. Those of you out there that think you can sing because your mama told you you can sing, or maybe you sing in the shower, and you think you can sing in the shower, You need to see this guy. If you really love singing and just feel like, I want to just really take my voice and take it to another level, this is really the man to do it. And he is committed and he is serious. And now I'm going to share my little story before we read the book. So
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this, Jeff, but I came up to you and I said, "Oh, will you work with me? Will you work with me?" Because I was doing Tina and I knew I was just damaging my voice. I wasn't being trained. And you set up an appointment. This had to be in 2000 because Mason
Okay.
was my son, who's now 18 and in the Navy. He wasn't born yet. And
Uh-huh.
I was falling in love at the time. So
Uh-huh.
it was a Saturday. I had an appointment with you. And it was a beautiful day to go to the beach. And I was falling in love. So instead of meeting you for my lesson that you scheduled for me, I went to the beach with the love of my life at that time.
Okay.
And I remember, I'm going to tell you, I called you and now I'm confessing and I'm so sorry. I never told you this stuff. I never told you this. I remember we were on the Belt Parkway going to Coney Island and I was like, dang, I got to call this guy. I made an appointment. So I called you and I remember sitting in the car reading your text. I don't know if you texted me or voiced me, but it says, and this is like 20 years later, it said, Jahidah, I am very disappointed that you would cancel our meeting at the last minute. I take my time very seriously. And let me tell you something. I had the most horrible time at the beach.
Oh
I
no.
was so guilted out, Jeff. I felt like, oh,
Aw.
so I had to tell you that and say, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But this
Well,
guy, he's so serious about what he does. And
yeah. Well,
you're,
we all make this, and as I grown up, I realized people have, priorities, and sometimes priorities shift, and I've seen that a lot in students, where they get really interested in singing for a while, and then their interests will shift, and that's, I'm much
yeah.
more flexible with that stuff now.
Yeah. Well, I was being very inconsiderate, and so I apologize. But
I
Jeff is
do
going to,
slightly remember it, but and I think I was a little bit more hardcore about that back then. But now I'm just like, you know, I
but
mean,
it made me respect you. Like it really, and I'm a stickler for
uh,
time. I grew up with a Navy dad,
mhm,
and it was like Saturday morning, you wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, you wake up, do your chores, go to school. Da, da, da,
mhm,
da. So I was very serious about my time too with other people, and I thought, oh my God, I'm doing to him what I hate people do to me.
yeah,
So, but anyway, that's just what it could be.
showing up is everything, right?
It's
That's
everything. It's
everything,
everything.
everything.
So, Jeff, I wanted you to read The Blended Garden because
Yeah,
you blend people together with music. And I'm so excited for you to read the book and then come back
okay,
another time when we really, really chat. So, I'm going to shut up and please
right.
enjoy Jeff Alani reading The Blended Garden.
The Blended Garden, written by Jahidah Diaab, illustrated by Anna O'Donnell. Once upon a time, in a colorful garden, a dandelion sat alone and disheartened. The dandelion saw many flowers from afar, all arranged by their colors. It was quite bizarre. It longed to be part of a colorful array of tall stems in the wind where they bend and sway. The old lady gardener, with her hat tilted low, arranging her flowers with a wish that they would grow. Now, this old lady gardener was quite confusing. She thought sorting flowers was quite amusing, placing this flower here and that flower there to match and examine, measure, and compare. As each flower lived in its own special space apart from their friends, it was a very sad place. With arms reaching outward, they tried to connect, but sadly divided, they could not intersect. The flowers were angry and they began to stand tall. They said to the gardener, "This makes no sense at all. We were all so different, our colors unique. Blend us together and you'll see a great treat. Mixing our colors, red, yellow, and blue, our petals like flags for all to view. A rainbow of ribbons blowing in the wind, the flowers protested, "We want to be friends, not separate and sorted by a particular kind. Growing together is how we're designed." The old lady sat in her flower yard. She said to her flowers, "I've been working so hard. Sorting my flowers is tiresome indeed. And could this dandelion be more than a weed?" She tired, she was that, sorry, so tired she was that she took a long nap, and she was slept zip, zoom, zap. The dandelion slept, then slowly transformed, taking flight into the night. Above the gardener it soared. All was quiet just beneath the full moon, unaware of the magic that would begin very soon. The old lady gardener awoke from a dream of a blended garden filled with dandelion seeds. As dawn approached, she began stretching and yawning, her arms reaching up to the glory of morning. As she lied in her wheelbarrow, feeling rested and free, envisioning her flowers as a field of we. This blended garden that I saw in my dream was inspiring, extraordinary, satisfying to see. The old lady gardener with her flowers agreed, there is magic within this dandelion seed. I will no longer sort, my dear flower friends. And she blew the dandelion seeds into the wind. Blow this way and that way, and land where you may. You are part of my garden, and here you will stay.
Thank you, Jeff.
What inspired you to write that? That was so beautiful. I've read it so many times, and I thought it was so gorgeous.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, my garden inspired me, but also, I kind of grew up like you. I grew up very religious, very I don't know how to word this, racially aware that I was black and other people were white, and that was my world. You're
Mm-hmm.
black, you're white. That was
Yeah,
all I heard. I
yeah,
hadn't really met anyone else that was, from a different land, a different world, a different
mm-hmm.
culture. You see it on TV. So, diversity has always been in my blood because, sometimes when something is kind of forced down your throat, you kind of go the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I'm a gardener as well, and I just love, watching in my garden how nature just does its thing on its own. You can't control it, you can't sort it, you can't separate it. It just kind of blends all together, and that's what made me think about you. And I was so happy when you reached out to me, um, because I just thought about music and how, I love YouTube. I love international music. I'm a teacher, and
Okay.
I always put on international music for my
Yeah.
children so that they can hear all different kinds of sounds and music. And you
Yeah.
must come across so many different types of people that just come together for music.
Amazing. It's amazing. I actually, I just shared this with you. In September, right before September, um, I was really frustrated with my weight at the
Mm,
time. I since when I met you, I was the weight I am now,
mm-hmm.
but I'd put on 40 pounds over the last
Wow.
several years, and so I met this guy online on Instagram. He's an Iranian international fitness and bodybuilding champion named Farid Shirmohammedzadeh,
Wow.
and he contacted me to see if I could listen to a recording of him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wins like world championships in bodybuilding, and he sent me a recording. I was blown away by the recording, and I said I would love to teach you. Here's the rate that I could give you because I knew the Iranian dollar is very weak, and he
Mm,
says I can't afford to pay you anything. He says we
mm-hmm.
can't. There's no money exchange between Iran and the United States.
Wow.
You can't even send a letter there.
Wow.
It's crazy. So I said, okay, well, you know what? I could use some help with my body. So how about let's barter
Bartering is a
fitness
beautiful thing.
for voice lessons? So every week he would take a voice lesson, and every week he would give me training tips. And I've lost 40 pounds since September,
Wow, look at
and
that.
I'm in the best shape of my life. And I am just, and it's because between Iran and United States, there might be some barrier, but music brought us together.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. So it's been, I've met some amazing people. And what I found about the people of Iran, the young people there, because he's 24, the young people there are just like American young people. You know, they love pop music, they love rock, they really love rock,
Hmm.
and they love the pop culture. And they don't have, religion is not what separates them. They, you know, unfortunately, they have, you know, the kind of same here. We have the, you know, we have the extremists on in our country and the
Hmm.
extremists in their country. But music is the thing that takes down the walls.
That's right. That's right. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Oh my gosh, Jeff, I can't wait to talk. You're gonna come back and talk with me, right?
Of course, I would love to.
Oh, we have some. I think we may need to do two chats. There's so much. But that's just such a beautiful story. I mean, not even a story, but that's just such a great example
Mhm.
of how, we are all, we all want the same thing. We want to feel
Yeah,
good, and music makes us
yeah.
feel good. And you're in a really wonderful place where you can bring all of that together, and you're harmonizing the world. You're blending people through music. You're the blended music person. I'm the blended
Oh,
garden
I
person.
love that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
I
awesome.
love
But
that.
at the end of the day, that's all that matters, that we all come together, right?
Absolutely. And love is the thing that binds people. And you know what, if I may talk just a little bit more about the
Mhm.
Iranian people, they,
Yeah, please
a
do.
lot of them have contacted me, like friends of, he has 47,000 followers on Instagram. So so they see us, you know, I'll post something about his, you know, vocal success, and he'll post something about my fitness success. And so people see it, his fans see it, and they started writing me, and they're like, could you listen to me? You know, so
Oh,
I since there's no money exchange, you know, it's not like I can give like lessons away free. So what I do is I just send them my instructional program for free. I say, look, this is what I can do for you. I can
oh,
help you this way, even though there's, you know, and it's my, and they're so appreciative. It's
wow.
unbelievable. They're like, I can't believe you did this for me. Why would you do this for me?
That is that is
And I
that
said,
is
well,
that is
because
amazing.
you're a human being that, you know, we can't,
That
you
wants
can't
to
take a voice
sing.
lesson.
You're a
Yeah, it
human being
loves to
that just
sing.
wants to sing. That's how as basic as it gets.
Exactly. And I'm like, I make money doing this here. And so I can afford to do this and help people. And, you know, maybe I can't teach a bunch of people for free, but I've taught a couple of other people
Mhm.
for free, and they're, via Skype. And they're like, why did you do this for me? And they're like, I feel like undeserving. I'm like, you completely deserve my time. You
Wow, that is
completely
awesome.
deserve this gift of music and for me to help you. And so my goal for them is to spread the word. Just say, you know, like, Americans aren't so bad. Or maybe you
Right,
hear horrible
right,
things about us, but
right.
we're not so bad, and we hear horrible things about them,
Mhm, mhm.
which is
But here you
unfortunate.
are. Right. And this
They're not. It's the
humanizes,
same.
and puts a face on an idea in your
Yeah,
head. And that's the whole thing, like with the book. It's like there's this idea that this person should go here and that person should go there. And
yeah.
it's like, no, we should all kind of, like in the book
Exactly.
it says, blend us together and you'll see a
Exactly.
great treat. Like I'm hearing a great treat just by listening to your story
Mhm.
of bartering music to someone from way across the world that our country won't even trade currency with, and everybody wants money.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
You want to give me some money? Give me some money.
Exactly.
But that's so powerful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jeff, we are going to meet again,
Okay.
and thank you so much for reading the book.
Thank
And again,
you.
so you forgive me, right, for standing you up and going to the beach, right?
Yes.
Don't tell all your Iranian
I
friends.
do not hold grudges.
Make sure I should edit that part out. They're gonna be
Yeah,
like,
but it's funny because,
"Don't stand up, Jeff."
it was no mistake that we met.
It's not.
It was no
Uh,
mistake we met. And you, like you said, we people come into your life for a reason, a season, or forever, and you've been forever.
That's so
We may
true.
not have talked much since then, but I've seen you on Facebook and
Yep.
see all the wonderful things, and your son
Yeah.
going off to the military and all that stuff. That's just
Boy.
amazing. You like,
Yeah. And I've been watching your business grow, and that's awesome. You still love what you do what you love, and it hasn't
and
changed.
and you too.
Yeah.
So thank you for
Excellent.
having me. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
Jeff, thanks. So listen, don't go away. I'm gonna just stop this recording. But
Okay.
thanks everybody for tuning in. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. Just hit that little button. That would be great. I don't
Yeah.
have how many followers does that guy have? 475? Wow. Tell him I'll give him something if he can teach me how to do that.
Who's this?
Tell your friend who has the 475,000
Oh,
followers.
he has. Oh, on Instagram, he has 47,000. Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I have 10 subscribers, Jeff.
It'll grow. It'll grow. Just
I
like
told my son Kyle, who's a YouTuber, I'm like, Kyle, I have 10 subscribers. He was like, Mom, don't say that out loud. I'm
it'll
like,
grow. It'll
well,
grow.
you know what? I don't really I really don't care either way. This is the part that I love. I love this,
Me too.
chatting and and hearing stories, and so I'm all good.
Great.
But anyway, Jeff, thank you so much. And thanks everybody for watching. And
All
we'll
right.
see you again with Jeff to have a real chat about everything. I
Light.
can't wait. Yeah.
All right. Great.